Hello, this is a new tutorial. I will cover how to export this digital twin into a standalone package. So first, before we start to export, it's always a good idea. You can check out the GitHub. Make sure you have the latest version. So here I check my GitHub, type digital twin, and I see 10 commits, and I see some new commits from Nick. So it's always a good idea. You make sure you check the latest version. So I like to synchronize my current version to this version online. So what I will do is go back to my GitHub desktop, and here I can pull the origin. Just make sure you have this current repository, and I click pull. Then you can go ahead and synchronize. This is something could happen quite often if there is a conflict between the online file and the local file. Sometimes you will see this warning. This is because if you go back to the GitHub, here we can see Nick made a few changes. So here if you go to view commit detail, you can see basically their full file has been changed, 2 additions, 2 deletions, right? So you can sort of see the file has been changed, include the depth administration file, which is actually the map, and also there's some change on the floor texture image. I don't think this is a big deal, and also there is a change for the sub level. This belongs to Nick. So I think basically this is only one we want to commit. Maybe the texture as well. This one you don't really have to. And also this is the default INI file. This one can be synchronized without a problem. So I think we will basically just accept all the changes Nick made. So go back to GitHub desktop. It's always a good idea. You probably close Unreal when you do the synchronize. So here I will go ahead to stash the changes. This is actually the only options you have, right? And then I will view the stash. So this is the 2 files has some conflict. So I will basically make a decision. Do you want to accept or you want to discard the changes? Because these 2 changes is not really belongs to Nick. So I will just go ahead and choose discard. Okay. Right. So the changes has been discarded for that 2 files, and then I will see in the history. This is the file has been synchronized. Okay. So that is all synchronized. Then I will go ahead to launch the Unreal one more time. So after I relaunch Unreal, I open depth administration map. You can see here have sub levels. So from Nick Ehrman, I see there's a new sensor has been added right here on the bookshelf. And also I have other sub levels, for example from Emma. I think this one is on the window. Okay, so everything is still preserved. So that's important. When you have 20 people work together, each person in charge of one sub level, make sure you understand who's taking care of which level. So when you synchronize from the online repository, if there's a conflict, you can discard some of the conflicts just by ignore the levels not belongs to that person. Alright, so basically what I have done is to duplicate the sensors and put them into different sub levels. So right now I have each person carried certain number of sensors, but again this is optional. If you are the only person working on this project, you don't really have to do the sub levels, but I like to do it because I like to maintain this multi designer team. Alright, so since we have this sensor done for each sub level, I want to talk really quick about other quick UI tricks. So here you can see I have a tag, I have a name of the sensor. This is some new features I just added. So here if you go to edit sensor, you can see here I added these two objects. The first one is called a billboard. Billboard is basically a concept. It creates a material kind of like a surface, but this surface is always facing the camera. So if you change your views, this billboard is automatically going to rotate and face your camera always. So that's exactly the same technique I used before for the green background, green video clips. So if you recall, this is the one we have, the video clips, the girl play guitar. So that's exactly the same technique here using the billboard. So you can see in the billboard I have a special material. If I go there, you'll see this material is a mask material. Basically is yellow color for the base color and emissive color, so it's give you a little bit brightness. For the texture, I just simply added this mask texture. This is basically an alpha channel transparent background, and this one is linked directly into the opacity mask. If you do that, just make sure you have the blend mode as masked, so it will display the material like this way. If you want to know more about alpha channel and how to create like logos, icons, you can go to search. You can find tons of logos, icons in the default engines, but you can create this in Photoshop. You don't really have to worry how to do this internally in Unreal. Okay, so I basically just create this really quick as a new material. So back to the sensor, this new material is attached to the billboard. Okay, so that is how you create this nice yellow icon. For the text render, I create this text. The text basically is controlled by this special material. So if I go to search, right, I can tell you this is the one I put directly under the UI folder. If I double click, this is basically a duplication from the default text mask shader. The only thing I did is using this align mesh to camera node. This is one I just added. You can do align mesh to camera, and then you can create this 3 vector nodes. So the text will automatically rotate, always facing the camera. Okay, so that's pretty nice. For the text, I want to show you is in the event graph. I created these new variables. I make this variable as a public. This variable is a text, right? The type is a text. Then if I go to reference, you can see I use this blueprint. You basically get the tag, right? This is a text will be loaded into this variable. Then in the text render, this is the one I drag it here. The text render, I will set the text based on whatever variables you added into the tag public variable. So that is how here for each new sensor you will have this tag variable you can input directly in the editor. So that will automatically populate the variable and then load it into blueprint. So now if I play, you can see each text, they will have their own name. If I click, it's basically loaded into that individual URL. So the first one is luminosity, the light. I can also go to other like air quality. Then I can load the air quality data into this digital twin. I can go to the occupancy. Just make sure you click the sensor, because the tag and text does not carry a collision, so you have to click the sensor. Then you can load in this occupancy data. Okay, if you think it's a little bit too clustered, you can turn off the door or maybe even turn off the wall. Then you can see all the sensors directly here. So this is a layer you can turn on, turn off, or you can turn off the whole building. That's easier, you can see. This mode also support the first person, third person. If I press M, I'm able to use third person to go. So this could be pretty useful if you want to have, for example, the first person character go into this individual location. Then you can click the sensor and then you can loading this. Right? So there's many different options. You can switch from third person to bird's eye view. Alright, I think that's pretty much about how to set up this UI with tag, with the text, the name. This is the sound. So the last thing I like to do now is to save everything. Then I'm ready to package. Right? So to do the package, first I will go to the settings, project setting. In maps, I will check the current one as my default. I will also go to packaging. In the packaging, this is usually I like to do is to go to there's a tag name is map. Maybe just type here map. Or you can go here list of maps. Usually I just want to link a single map into this packaging. So right now it's a dap admin. Okay, so this is the only map I like to load into the packaging. This could be really useful if you have multiple maps. It will take long time to package. So here you only want to target or include the levels you want to package in. Okay, so that is under packaging, list of maps to be included. Alright, I think that's it. Then I'm ready to save current, save all one more time. Then I'm going to package. I will do a Windows. Usually you want to do a bake before you do the packaging, but I think I don't have much change for the lighting. I will just go straight to Windows. Okay, and then I will put this into a new folder. Build. I will give this new folder called DigitalTwin Dap. Okay, put this into a new folder. Alright, so now it start to packaging. If you like, you can also click show output log. So this will basically tell you the whole process. It will take a lot of steps. So first step probably is to just compile all the shaders, check out the default shading. This will take some time, depends on how complex your environment is. Oh, you know what? I need to cancel really quick. The reason is I forgot to include sub-levels into the packaging. Remember that? So here in my settings, yeah, I'm glad we did the recording. So here in the packaging, right, if you recall, we have a bunch of sub-levels. So it's always a good idea. You want to, make sure not forget anything. So here, where's that tag? Here we go, right? So here, I think I need add a couple of sub-levels. So here, sub-levels, let me see where it is. Right, so this is the default one. I need to go to sub-level. Yeah, I believe it's under the team, so I will add. Yeah, just make sure you don't forget anyone. And I will add a bunch of. Alright, I think I add everybody in. Yeah, that's good. Then let's save all. Yep. Then I will do a packaging again. Using the same folder. Cool. Alright, so let's see, show the log. Typically, if you see things like yellow color, it's alright. Unreal should be able to automatically fix if there's a missing link or there's an illegal name for the file. However, if you see red color, that basically means it's failed. Alright, it's compiled the shaders. So I will pause the video for now because this will take for a while. Later we're gonna resume. Alright, so after 5 to 10 minutes, the packaging is complete. So it said it's success. Then let's take a look. So basically, I will go to the destination folder to see if the file is there. So that is in Unreal build. Oh, not here. Alright, so you see that folder is there. You see a bunch of new files being generated. It's called Windows No Editor, and this is basically an executable file, right? It's an application file. So if you double click, it should be able to run directly. Cannot start run due to incompatible with 16-bit version of Windows. Oh, that is weird. Did I turn? Hold on. I think when I did package as a 64, right? So why it gave me that weird information? Alright, so after some try, I did a repackaging, but this time I did the packaging with the development switched to shaping. So I will show you where it is that. So in the build configuration, you can switch to shaping. For some reason, once I switch to here, then I'm able to run this. Probably something to do with my Windows NVIDIA card driver. But anyway, so I just repackaged as the shaping mode. So now if I double click, see it showed me I need to update the NVIDIA, but that's okay. So I can run this as a window. Then you can see all the features. I believe you can use F11 to turn on the full screen. Maybe not. I think it's F11 or F12. Yeah, I have to check. Yeah, so it's F11. So I can switch to the full screen. That's pretty nice. And also I can click wall, door, furniture, and then I can click this button. It should be able to launch the web page related to that sensor. Okay, so it's all here. Yeah, I think that's it. This is how you can package the whole thing. Just keep in mind you need to pay attention to the log. So if there's anything wrong, you can see from the log. And also, if you do have some issues with the development mode, you can switch to the shipping mode. Alright, I think that's it about this tutorial. The last moment thing to cover is if you do want to share this with another person, you need to zip the whole package. So I can show you really quick. But before that, just want to double check one more time all the features is working, and all the web portal is working. Alright, yep, it's all done. So yeah, to give this to another person, you basically just need to go to the Windows No Editor. This is the place you can right click, you can zip the whole thing as a single file. Then you can upload and give it to another person. So I will go to compress as a single file. It will basically create a large zip file. I think that's it. Okay. If you do want to really dig into this, the packaged file, you can basically see under the folder .dt. This is all the files has been compiled from the from Unreal Editor. And in the future, also if you want to edit the engines, there are a couple files you can actually edit. But I probably will do another tutorial. For example, you can change the rendering quality, you can change the default window size. So some of the control you can do from here. All right. Yeah. So the zip is times 446 megabits. Then you can upload this to the cloud.